Causeway Women's Aid is set up to make sure that we respond to victims of domestic violence. So we provide refuge, we provide advice, we provide support, and it depends on the needs of the woman or the child at the time as to what that support will be. But it's ultimately to make sure that anybody that's a victim of domestic violence is supported to make sure that they move forward to a safer life.
I'm Rosemary McGill. I'm the area manager for Women's Aid in Antrim, Ballymena, Carrick, Fergus, Larne and Newtonabbey. I think we first became involved with Baxter Associates in 1996, and we have been actively involved with them since. We always have lots of projects, very luckily. We have a refuge project, we have float and support project, we have a Sure Start project, we have children and young people's projects, we have outreach in the community, we have training programmes, we have children's programmes, we have creche. So from that list you can see that there are a number of funders who all fund slightly differently and have different requirements, so we need to make sure that we have everything in place with our accounts packages, etc., to make sure we can respond to that quickly. I suppose the main issue for charities is that you don't have one source of income and then expenditure. You have a number of sources of income because you'll have a range of funders. So you'll need to make sure that you are on top of exactly where you are with each funder and each budget heading under that, but also where you are organisationally when they're all pulled together. So it's slightly different and can be very different sometimes than a commercial business. You're trying to make sure that you have all of those ducks in a row and that you know at any one time exactly where you are financially. So that's why you need the support from external organisations like Baxter's to make sure that you have that all in place.
Well, initially when I started, everything was done manually, but at that time we didn't have as much funding, so that was easier to track. As we progressed, then Catherine introduced the QuickBooks software, accountancy software, which she trained me how to use, and was at the end of the phone if I had any problems with it initially.
We deal with Catherine from Baxterworld, who has pretty much become part of the family, and sometimes I'm sure she loves that and sometimes she maybe doesn't whenever we're ringing, but basically because she would be here twice a year, she knows exactly what we do. We've been contacted if we have any problems, so she can head us off at the pass to make sure that things don't get out of hand. And basically because she's been so good, we actually seem to rely on her less and less, because when she's here she's effective and we know what to do after she leaves.
Catherine's terrific,
Yeah.
Because I'm a novice when it comes to accountancy and managing finances to that level, those nuances. And she explains it in language that I can understand, follows through with explanations, and doesn't overburden me with information that I really don't need to have. So she's able to communicate on all of those different levels, and I've often said to her, makes what could be a very boring subject actually sound quite interesting and keep me interested in it.
A day with the accountant, usually people, frown, but when we know Catherine's coming down, she does make it very enjoyable. We ask her so many questions, and mostly she does know the answer straight away, but if she doesn't, she certainly comes back to us very quickly with an answer, so she does.
Baxterworld have been working with Causeway Women's Aid since 1994, so almost 20 years now, and they've supported us as we've grown and changed, and as the environment we work in has changed as well. We have a number of projects coming up. We're hoping to set up a social economy business in the next year, so we know we'll need the support from Baxter's to make sure that we do that appropriately. In the future, for all community voluntary sector organisations, there'll be increased partnerships, there are potentially mergers, amalgamations, that type of thing. So we have already started a partnership with another women's aid group, and one of the things that we've done in relation to that is to make sure that Baxter's are also their accountants, to make sure that when we start to streamline our work, that we have the background support coming from the same agency to make sure that that is a much easier process.